So when you were just a little kid, इससे बड़ा बच्चा, so you probably were a chatpata samastikoor bacha who didn't give a flying fuck about anything. But as you and matter of fact most of us grew up now, we started being more aware. Being aware about how we behave, being cautious to a point where we start behaving a certain way. Like, don't get me wrong, being aware and all is indeed a great quality. But you know, revolving your whole life behaving a certain way you aren't. And we all know that we do this performance just because of fear. The fear of getting judged. Like, of course, no one really wants to pretend, but at the same time, no one wants to be judged either. The fear of saying wrong shit at wrong times, the fear of being judged, the fear of finding yourself weird is the simple answer to lot of our behaviors. Now, let's be honest here. ऐसा कितनी बार हुआ है कि you stopped yourself from doing something just because you thought about how the world would look at it or react to it. Not because the shit was wrong or causing harm to anyone, but because we think about what like people will find it weird and stuff. Even when the shit is causing objectively zero harm to the society, we still hesitate. And I don't really think that we are afraid of the thing itself. But it's just that we are scared of being seen trying, being seen caring, being seen expressing yourself. Cause you know, the moment you express something real, people can judge it. And that's why many of us hide. Cause performance is much more easier and safer than being yourself. We start prioritizing what people think of us rather than what we feel. It's just like handling the wheel of your life to someone else. And for the sake of that validation, we start performing a character, not necessarily a fake one, but just a safer one, the one which we think is more socially acceptable. We don't stop caring, but we do stop expressing the care. We don't abandon our interests, but you know, we stop talking about them. It's just that we don't neglect the feelings themselves, but we do try to hide them. And after playing this character for so long now, we stop asking ourselves how we feel and start asking ourselves how we should react. Now, while all of this is happening, I think the internet plays a huge role in all of this too. Like, let's be honest here, everybody does wanna look cool. Like, no one gets up in the morning and goes like, I don't wanna look cool today. Like, of course, everybody does wanna look cool. But the problem here is, being cool is literally subjective. Like, if I am finding something goated, doesn't necessarily mean that you will find it goated too. Because you know, for some people, being cool is just as simple as being confident. For some people, it's being funny. For some people, it's being just creative. But somewhere along the way, the internet started feeding us one very specific version of cool. The person who is calm, the person who is detached, the person who is literally unbothered. आपने भी कभी ना कभी notice किया होगा, the idea of being detached fed onto us directly or indirectly. Even the dating advice nowadays revolve around not texting first, not showing much emotions, cause the other person might take advantage of your vulnerability. The version that never gets excited, never cares too much, never shows emotions is often appreciated. And when you keep seeing same shit again and again and again, you think that's pretty normal. Not because that's right, but because it's everywhere. People literally get mocked simply because they were excited about something. A person who is openly expressing himself is labeled as corny. A person who is openly showing emotions is labeled as desperate. Comments such as bro think he's him and it's not that deep are very very common on posts where people are literally being passionate about something. Basically, the glorification of this character has gotten to a point where caring, expressing yourself or giving a fuck has become cringe. And that's where the character we talked about earlier started getting reinforced, as that's the most socially acceptable character we see. I disagree with the internet. Yeah, I'm being honest about it. And it's not because I think that everyone should be going around saying everything that comes to their mind, and not because every feeling should be acted upon, but you know, I think expression is one of the most human things we do. Think about it, every song you ever heard exists because someone wanted to express what they felt. Not just songs, every movies, every paintings, every story exists because someone wanted to express an idea. Even friendships are built on expressions. Every relationship is indeed built on expression. It's not because two people magically understand each other, but it's because that they decide to express and connect to who they are. Because if you really think about it, what is communication if not expression? What is art if not expressions? What are friendships if not expressions? And what is love if not expressions? Expression is literally woven into every meaningful thing we experience as human beings. And that's why I find this whole internet thing so fucking weird, cause at one side of it, we really wanna express ourselves, we wanna talk about our thoughts, we wanna share our feelings, we wanna share about how we feel about things, but at the same time, we are convinced ourselves that all of that things are cringe. And honestly, that doesn't make sense to me. Kyuki, if we are constantly hiding how we feel, if we are constantly suppressing our emotions, if we are constantly filtering out our interest, then what's the point of having those feelings in the first place? What's the point of loving something if you are ashamed of talking about it? What's the point of caring if you are pretending not to? What's the point of having a heart if you're not gonna let it speak? And honestly, maybe I feel so strongly about it because I've been on the other side of it too. So for a long period of time, I was not being myself. I was just trying to fit in. I was trying to be the character who is more socially acceptable. Like for the most part of it, everything was going smooth. Like every social event went totally fine on the front. But I was coming back home anxious. Even normal social outings caused so much mental burnouts. Not because something weird or embarrassing happened, but because I was stuck with the question that whether I am doing something weird. Every joke, every reaction, every conversation, wondering if I said the right thing at right time, wondering if people liked me, wondering whether I came across how I wanted to. I wasn't really being myself, I wasn't being real. And believe me when I say this, when you try to do things for external validation now, things do get exhausting. Because the more energy you spend trying to maintain a version of yourself now, the less energy you have to actually be yourself. Now, before any misunderstandings, expression doesn't mean ignoring boundaries. Now, it's true that I believe expressions aren't cringe, but you can't just say whatever that comes to your mind whenever you feel like it. It doesn't mean forcing your emotions onto somebody, and it definitely doesn't mean to expect someone to respond the way you want them to. You can express how you feel while still respecting other people's boundaries. You can still be honest without being inconsiderate. And that's my whole point. Expression doesn't mean ignoring any boundaries. And honestly, after all of this, I think we got the whole idea of being cool completely backwards. Because to me, the coolest people I've ever met weren't really the detached one. They weren't the people who were trying to be cool. Instead, they were just the one who weren't trying at all. They were just being unapologetically themselves. The people who get excited about the things they love, the people who openly express their care, the people who weren't afraid of looking a little weird were the coolest people I ever saw. So I don't think it really makes sense to constantly hide who you are, because if the people around you only know the character you perform, they won't really know you. Sure, some people will find you weird, won't understand you, won't even like you, but that's okay. You don't have to be liked or loved by everyone. Cause your people will connect with the real you and not the character you perform. And to conclude this video, I am gonna say it again. What's the point of having a heart if you're never gonna let it speak?